Hey everybody, it is ModelcarNick here today, and thank you for tuning in. We are going to be going over this brand newly released Maisto Bugatti Mistral. As you can see, still haven't opened it in the box yet, but it's finished in this really lovely bronze paint colorway with the yellow interior and kind of a two-tone wheel. So let me open this up and then I'll get into the review. I always think that's pretty satisfying to take off, but here it is, the Bugatti Bolide. I already did a review of this model on my channel of the all yellow version, but this one, since it's a brand new release in a really interesting colorway, I thought I'd give it another shot and see maybe if there was any changes between the old and the new model. But let's kind of get into it. So starting up front, as you can see, we have the Bugatti badge, of course, nothing too special with that. A bunch of fake plastic mesh grills, but they do look pretty good. But you know, as you can see, it's not like this is a pretty low quality model when it comes to price. So you know, that's pretty much expected. Below here we have a carbon fiber front splitter, and I will say Maisto has been doing a really good job on their carbon fiber these days. It's obviously not up to the standards of Autoart or you know, some of the other higher end brands, but it's not as textured as it was previously. It's kind of a more smooth finish, which I like. But yeah, pretty cool. Up here we kind of have another aero curtain right here that kind of guides the air beneath the car, I guess. But yeah, let's open up the hood, and as you can see, not too much going on under there, but a pretty good sized trunk. So I guess this would be a pretty good car to take out on a little vacation or something if you're lucky enough to have one in real life. But we'll keep moving forward. As you can see, kind of this signature Mistral headlights right up here. They kind of have a multi-layered running daytime lights, and I think they're emulated pretty well in this model, but not really too much else is going on up here. As you can see, there's kind of like a little air vent or something like that going on right up here. So a lot of lines in this front hood. There's another little air intake right here as well. But I feel like at this angle, you don't really notice all the body lines that are on this car. As you can see, there's kind of a center line coming down the middle, and it kind of has some nice creases up here on the hood as well. So really strong looking front end, especially in this paint, I must say. It looks absolutely incredible. We'll keep moving towards the side of the model. So as you can see, I said earlier, the two-tone wheels, they look pretty good on this model. So as you can see, it kind of has this machined finish face with the gloss black kind of interior and of the wheels. We do have the EB logo sitting in the center cap of the wheel, and you can kind of see the little lug nuts sitting around the wheel as well. So behind the wheels, you can see the brake calipers. They're painted in yellow, and they do have the Bugatti writing down the side of them. It's on the base, so it's kind of hard to see, but as you can see, right there, it says Bugatti, and then we have some drilled brake rotors behind there that looks pretty good. So not too many complaints on the wheels. Overall, though, I think the spec of this with the yellow, I don't love it, to be honest. I kind of wish they would have went with more subtle, maybe black or gray interior. I think would have complemented this paint job a little bit more, but that's personal preference. So we'll keep moving on. So right here we have the, and I always forget what country makes this car. It's really embarrassing. I want to say it's Denmark. I could be totally wrong, and please correct me about that on the comments, but don't go too hard on me. Anyways, we have kind of another carbon fiber finish down here on the side with the side skirt, as you can see. I will say this carbon fiber does feel a little bit more textured than it was on the front, which is kind of interesting. They went with kind of a different kind of finish on the side of the model than they did with the front, so kind of interesting design choice with that. But it is kind of very swoopy. As you can see, there's a lot of kind of angles that come through on the side and right here up at the top to kind of emulate the C shape, kind of like in the Chiron, but it's on this model. So they kind of kept that forward with this new car. Another EB logo right here on the gas cap, so it looks pretty good, but not really too much else going on the side. Besides, there is a little air vent right here as well, but besides that, we'll come back to the very rear of this model, where you're greeted with a huge kind of taillight and diffuser combination right here. So you kind of have this X shaped style taillight, which reminds me of the Bolide a lot. as you can see, the design of the taillight as well, they added these little lines in, which look pretty cool. I'm sure on the real car they look a little bit better, but you know, this is a Maisto model, so we'll keep that in mind. But behind those taillights, there is a lot of mesh grills going on back here, and this diffuser is actually all finished in carbon fiber, which is kind of interesting. Again, with the kind of two-tone carbon fiber material choices, where this rear upper part right here is more smooth, but once we get down to like the bottom of the diffuser, you can kind of just see the texture of it is a lot more rough compared to the top portion. So really interesting. Don't really love that, but it is what it is. You'll notice this huge kind of center exit exhaust right here on the bottom. Looks really good, and it looks like it goes down there pretty deep, you know, considering when you have it at this angle. So not too much to complain about there. Mistral license plate with this yellow kind of print on it to match the interior. And then within the taillights themselves, you can kind of see the Bugatti script written across that. So it looks pretty cool. Up at the top, we have the EB logo, of course, and this wing actually is active, so you can pull this thing up, and it makes this model look a little bit more aggressive. As you can see, that's kind of what it looks like from the front with the rear wing up. So really like that little feature, and it does kind of pivot upwards, so looks really good up there. Right on the top, though, you can see this is the last W16 engine that they're putting in these Bugattis. I think with the new Tourbillon, they switched to the not straight 16, but it's a V16 engine. So this was the last car that Bugatti made with the W16 engine. But the details on the top of this model do look fairly decent. As you can see, the top deck lid is all finished in carbon fiber, and it's a little bit dirty, but again, with kind of the more smooth textured carbon fiber, unlike on the sides and on the bottom of this model. But yeah, pretty good engine details, I'll say. And then here's kind of a look through the rear. As you can see, there's a little rear window glass lid right there, so pretty cool. But unfortunately, that is kind of all the features that open on the exterior besides the doors. You don't get an engine cover that pops off, kind of like on some of the Auto Art models. But we'll go ahead and open up these doors. Luckily, this is a convertible model, so we can kind of just see straight through it. And I think there is still tape on this, so there's not. It's just really hard to open. Let me try to get the other one open real quick. All right, so both doors are open now, and I did struggle a little bit. I do feel like these door hinges are really tight, you know, on this model, but it is what it is. But a really good looking interior, just maybe not against this paint. Anyways, we can see kind of the center console right up here is all finished in carbon fiber, and you can kind of see that Chiron style design with these little circular buttons right here. And the steering wheel itself is really nice because it kind of has like a stitch around kind of the airbag area in yellow, and you have the EB logo, of course, and just a bunch of buttons on the steering wheel with some graphics on them. Looks pretty good, I must say. The air vents on this car are pretty interesting. As you can see, they're kind of these horizontal, vertical designed. They just come straight up, so pretty interesting. The door panels themselves are really nice. As you can see, there's carbon fiber all around kind of this outside piece of the door panel, and then you have some yellow door kind of design right here, and it's perforated as well, so really interesting. I think they actually did a really good job on this interior. So you kind of take a look at the seats as well. Kind of a two-tone black and yellow finish with kind of the stripe going down the center of it, and then we have the Mistral logo on the headrest as well. Seat belts are right here on the side. They are finished in black, so not really too much interesting things going on with those. I did notice there is actually no seatbelt buckle on the kind of the interior parts of the model, so not really huge attention to detail there, but it is what it is. As you can see, kind of this also splits right here. This is kind of just the more generic matte plastic feeling, and it is kind of cheap, as you can hear that. It's not really put together very well, but there is some carbon fiber and another Bugatti logo right there in the center of the model. So pretty cool interior. Go ahead and close that up. Very snappy doors, as you can see. And we do have it right next to the Speedtail, so kind of an interesting pairing. Obviously, it's on a plate, but this is a pretty large car compared to the Speedtail, with the Speedtail just having a little bit more length there on the end. You know, anyways, I really do like this car. I think it's in a really excellent color choice, but like I said, the interior matching with this exterior. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below. Do you think it pairs well, or do you think it kind of clashes? But besides that, I mean, you know, picking these up at Sam's Club now or Costco, they're $20, which, you know, last year these were $18. So just a little bit of a price increase. I still think they're totally worth it. So I was seeing resale on these models go from about $40 to $45. Maybe you can get it for a little bit cheaper if you're lucky. You know, I don't really recommend paying retail for these just because, you know, if you have a Sam's Club membership or a Costco membership, you know, you could get these things for half price, and you might as well pick one up because besides, you know, getting model cars, you get some other benefits as well. But yeah, I mean, a really cool model. If I had to give it a scale from, you know, 1 to 10, as I always do, I'd probably give it a solid 7, or maybe not a 7, but a 6.5. Just due to kind of the weird kind of flips and carbon fiber choices that they used on this model. And then all of these, also the kind of the fake grills up here at the front. And then I would have liked to see some more engine details, like kind of in the auto art models where you can take these compartments off. But, you know, still for the money though, it's totally a great value. And I wouldn't be mad at anyone for picking one of these up if you decide to get one. But yeah, it's kind of my review on this model. So I hope you enjoyed it and have a good rest of your day. Bye guys.